Hello, travelers. Today, we are talking about how to not drown in Disney planning. If you have not planned a Disney trip recently, you may not know what I'm talking about. But if you have, or you have ever thought about planning a Disney trip or gotten overwhelming advice from well-meaning Mouseketeers who love Disney, Disney planning can be a total beast. It is its own thing, I promise you. It is a complicated process, and most people, when they begin to research it, just feel completely overwhelmed if they're new to Disney. I talk to a lot of people who are new to Disney, and they get so bogged down in the blogs and in their friends' advice and in Pinterest and everything else, and it just mushrooms into this overwhelming, drowning experience. And whether that's for their own family or even worse, for like a whole group of people, how do you plan Disney and not feel like it's just consuming your life? Now, some people like that feeling. Some people love Disney planning consuming their life, but for others, it's not a pleasant experience and they need help. And that is what I do. If you do not know me, I am Mandy Horn, the Traveling Compass. You can find me across all your major social media channels as that. And I help my clients travel smart so that they can connect to each other and to their destination. And these videos are ones I do to help them do that. Today, we are talking about Disney, and for a very important reason, a couple of them actually. One, Disney has just changed or is going to be changing their ticket structure next week. And so it's going to be very different than what we've had in the past. And because of that, if you're thinking about Disney in 2019, you really need to get your packages booked now, especially if you are looking at a busy time frame, because the tickets are going to start to be different in that more expensive or more frequent times, busier times are going to start being charged more. Disney's going to start fluctuating how much stuff costs. You can still get in today and still book today under the old system, which is why I've been talking about Disney a lot lately. It's a specialty of mine. I love it. And that's what we're talking about, partially why we're bringing this to you today. So let's go ahead and get started on how to not drown planning Disney. So I use a process with my clients for planning Disney each and every time, or really all of my clients, wherever they're traveling in the world. We go through a planning process as I advise them along the way. That's why I'm a travel advisor, right? And the same process applies to Disney. And when you break down crazy Disney planning into little bites that you can take, it becomes so much more manageable, so much less overwhelming, and you're able to really get what you want out of the trip without feeling like it's totally consuming your life. So we're going to talk about that process. So first up, let me get it up here on the screen for you. All right, we are going to dream together. So when I will first talk with you as a travel advisor about your Disney trip, I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions. The front end is really about me getting to know you and understand what you want. And so the first thing that we're going to talk about in that is we are going to talk about everyone that's going. I'm going to be asking you about all those people that are attending, whether it's multiple families or one. I want to know the ages of your kiddos and what their favorite characters are, and just different things about you, how you like to travel, who these people are that are going. And all those ages play into everything, into what I'll suggest and recommend for the parks. So it's really important to get to know your particular group. So we're going to talk about everybody that's going. Then next, we're going to talk about experience. And that will start with, what's your Disney experience? I'll want to know if you've been to the parks before or if you've never been and this is a first time. Some people, I work with clients that are total, Disney peeps, dyed in the wool, they have all their own ears, all of that. They just like me to do it for them because they've been so many times, they don't want to mess with it. But I also work with a lot of people who have never been at all. And that's a really important thing to know, in the amount and level of support that you're going to need in the planning process. And what we need to help make your trip successful. So we'll talk about your experience. We'll also talk about the experiences that you want to have. What are those moments that you're trying to create? And one of the things that I love, love, love about Disney is that they are excellent at creating experiences, at creating moments. Now, the whole reason that I love to help people travel is because of the connection that it creates with each other, with the place, those memories that become our favorite stories that connect us over the years, that we continue to tell one another and that bind us together, no matter how far apart we may live. I love that aspect of travel, and Disney does that great. There's almost no one that does it better. I know so many families, for various reasons, from sad ones to super happy ones, choose Disney as the place to make their memories, because it's a place that they can easily get back to relive those memories and the joy of being together. And that reason alone, I want to know what kind of experience you're looking for at Disney. Like, first time blow those little kids out of the water? Or is it going to be, nope, this is a honeymoon, or no, I'm a grandma and I'm taking all of my grandkids, and, I want these moments of when they're little to just cherish up that time with them and the awe that comes from being in a place like this. I want to know what kind of experience you're looking for at Disney, because we can work to create that and make sure that that happens for you, and pull away all those distractions that are going to get in the way and make things hard. So we want to talk about experience next when we're dreaming. Then we'll talk about expectations. And this is really important, just what you're thinking. Sometimes I'll talk with clients and they're like, oh, I went to Disney 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I think I know what I'm doing. And we'll start talking and they'll go, oh, no, maybe I don't. Disney changes all the time. And it's why you really want a travel advisor that specializes in Disney. Like day to day sometimes. It changes all the time, from what's open to what's coming to experiences or not, how Disney does things, how they set it up. It is a lot to know. And so we need to talk about your expectations, especially if you've been before, as to what you want to see happen. And Disney has some quirks to it. It is an active vacation. It's not super passive. It's not laying on the beach, right? Disney's riding rides and it's making memories, and it's a more active vacation. So if your expectation is I'm just going to chill and sit, Disney's not quite like that. And so we may need to work in rest times, like where you can enjoy pool time, but we also may need to work on your expectation for the trip so that you don't just come back totally like, this was not at all what I wanted. We want to make sure that we have your expectations in line for what it's going to be like as an experience. And we want to talk about what you're comfortable spending. Disney can be a little bit of a pricier, vacation. Sometimes I do have some clients that come back with some sticker shock. That's not abnormal with Disney. And because of that, we want to talk about what are you comfortable spending so that I make sure we're getting that trip within your budget. And also making the most of your budget, putting the money where it counts. That's a lot of what I do. Sometimes people get a little bashful, like they don't want to tell me, or I deal with this every day. It's like not wanting your doctor to see your body. Like that's why we're here. We're talking about how to make the most of your money. So I'd like to discuss your budget and what, range you're looking at, or just what you're comfortable spending, or what each party is comfortable spending. If you're traveling with a group, that's really important, because what one person is comfortable with may not be what another person's comfortable with. So we need to make sure we understand how we can meet everybody's needs. So we're going to go ahead and talk about expectations. So that's the first part, is a lot of me getting to know you. Then we'll go ahead and we will move to the design part of Disney, which is where it starts to get fun, right? So first of all, we're going to talk about where do you want to go in the parks? As well as where might you like to stay. I will pretty much always recommend that you stay on site. That's a whole different video as to why that is. There's a lot of reasons behind it, but where on site is going to be the best place for you to stay, as well as where you want to see, in the parks. Not everybody wants to see every park, or sometimes people want to see multiple parks multiple times. So we're going to talk about where in Disney we're going and where it's going to be best for you to stay. And then we're going to start talking about, what you want to do, and if there's any big things that you really want to go to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, or that Pirate League experience is really important to you, or you really want pool time. All of that goes into the what. What are we going to be doing each day? What kinds of things are you hoping to incorporate? Do you want that character meal? What are you thinking? So we're going to talk about the design and start to piece together that aspect of it. Then finally, we're going to decide. And once, we have okay, so this is what the plan is. This is what you're wanting to do. We'll go ahead and work towards a decision together to get your package booked. Disney makes booking packages super, super easy. It's $200 per room for a package. You can move them. You can change them. You can, up until 30 days before travel. So they are super, you can apply new sales. Super, super flexible. They make it easy for you to book early and lock in what are usually the best prices, as well as be able to build out the whole rest of your trip, because there's all kinds of important dates as you go through your process. And if you don't have that package booked, it impacts your ability to plan the rest. So Disney makes it super easy for you to plan ahead, get that package book. We're going to decide, and we'll get your package book with where you're going to stay and your ticket so that you are ready to go and you have those best prices locked in. And then after we have that piece done, I will start to kind of like feed you little by little the decisions that need made. Because when you first there's a lot of decisions that need to be made in a Disney trip, and it can be wholly overwhelming if you just dump 18,000 decisions on someone. So we're going to piece it through. There's kind of a process. We start with the foundation, like where you're staying and the general gist of the trip. And we're going to build on top of that all these decisions on how to build your trip. So once we decide where you're staying and get your package book, we'll talk about parks, and we'll double check and make sure that you know which parks you want to go to and why. And I have a lot of resources for this. It's not, that are like how to compare the different parks. I have different things that I send to my clients to help them think through that, to realize what their kids can and can't ride. We do a park comparison based on the rides and their height limits, so that people can see, okay, what am I really going to be able to ride or not with my 2-year-old? We go through all of that and have lots of resources to help you think through that to decide which parks are best for you. Once we have the parks in place and kind of know which ones you're going to want to go to, we're going to talk plans. And we're going to talk dining. So what does that look like? It looks like the fact that I will build out a calendar for you. So we've talked about the parks. We kind of know how it's going to go, and we'll build out a calendar of where we're going. And then we'll start talking about your dining. And that's the next layer. Once we know which parks we're going to be in, we start to build on dining and that calendar and kind of start fleshing that out. Part of where we're going to put your parks is going to be dependent on the experience you're looking for, as well as crowd levels. I am always considering that when I recommend what park you go to which day. We try to get you and design the trip so that line times are minimal and crowds are as minimal as we can make it, depending on the season. So once we have your parks and your calendar kind of laid out, we'll start building in that dining. And again, I have resources to help you. That's why I'm here. And to compare the different character meals, to recommend how your family likes to eat. Everybody likes to eat different. And so it always cracks me up when people get like on Facebook and they're like, tell me where to eat at Disney. Well, most friend groups can't even agree where to like eat for a meal together. Right? If you've ever experienced that. And it's because everybody has a different idea of what good food is, what they want to pay for their food, all of that. So we'll start talking dining, and based on how your family likes to eat, some people have allergy restrictions, all of that. Disney's fabulous for that. All of that, we need to kind of build out your dining and where you're going to want to eat. And groups is a whole different thing. There's certain restaurants there that can handle groups, big groups, better than others. And that really goes into the design of where do you want to eat, making sure that we are going to be able to get you the reservations you need. Anything at Disney that has a waiter requires a reservation that's done ahead of time. And as part of that schedule that we talked about earlier, those come out 180 days in advance of your trip. So that dining process, as we're talking about it, is really that layer we build ideally before that 180-day mark, so that we have the full plethora of reservations open to you. But we'll build out your dining, and then after we kind of have an idea of where you want to eat, we'll start building on top of that your plans for the parks and what rides you really want to ride. If you have little kids, we talk about what they might be scared of. Are they really ready for roller coasters? Which ones are rougher than others, and kind of talk through what's really going to be right for your child to make sure that we're getting the full experience that's really going to be right for them. Because it's not the same. Kids are different, right? If it's nothing we know as parents, it's that no child is the same. And so we need to design this trip for your children and what's going to work for them. So we'll start talking through those days, and I'll provide what I like to call like a 70% plan. And it's a loose and flexible plan that gives you kind of an order to go through the parks so that you're not zigzagging all over the place, but that you kind of know where to go next. Disney is not a great place to show up and have no plan and be like, what do we want to do today? It's important. There's kind of a way to go about it to make sure that we're riding rides, at the times when their line is going to be the lowest, and also minimizing you walking all over the parks and utilizing those fast passes. Fast passes, for those who are not Disney people, are kind of a jump to the front of the line. And that's a whole different video on what fast passes are and how we use them. But I can help you figure out how to incorporate those to maximize them for your family and, what to do. And we'll help you with the reservations for both dining and the fast pass process, so that we can make sure that becomes that whole coherent trip that we've been designing all along. And we just kind of keep building and building and building and building until, we're finally ready, until it's time to go. And then it's going to be time to depart. And this is the last step in the process. And, sometimes people tell me that they've had travel advisors that kind of like book them and they're done. I'm not that kind of person. If that's the kind of travel advisor you're looking for, you probably better warn me. Because I will begin to start to prep you after we have all the reservations done for departure. And there's just certain things that we need to make sure that are in place to make things go smoothly, whether that's the Magical Express airport pickup, whether it's making sure your magic bands and everything are ordered. There's a process to go about to make sure that you are ready for departure, you're ready for the time for Disney. And once we have those things in place, I'll also be talking to you about, packing and how to make sure you have everything you need for the parks and, tips and tricks and things to make sure that when you leave, you feel confident that you are ready for this trip. You're so excited. You've been planning it forever and you are ready, and then I'm always there. Now I'll tell my clients when they're at the parks, if you have an issue, please text me or, let me know, email me. I can kind of help coach you through. Sometimes people get in the parks and they get a little overwhelmed or stuck, and that's what I'm here for. It's advisory for a reason, right? So that's going to be the process that we walk through together to plan your Disney trip. We're going to dream, we're going to design, we're going to decide, and we're going to depart. And that whole way, I will be helping you and making sure that you have the best, latest, most current advice to really have that dream Disney vacation. And when we kind of go through that and when we do it piece by piece, people find that overwhelm comes way down. And they can take a deep breath and they can do Disney and love it and have just the best trip. And that is always my goal. I love, love, love to see my clients' pictures and to hear from them that they have just made the most wonderful family memories and they're ready to go back, because it was just such a fabulous trip. So if that's you, like I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, Disney is about to change their processes. Now is a good time, if you are hearing this before October 16th of 2018, to get your trip booked. If not, we will make the absolute best of Disney's new system, when those come out. But if you are looking at Disney for 2019, this next week is really the time to get your packages in if possible. But I am, again, super glad that you joined me today. I am Mandy Horn, the Traveling Compass. You can find me across all your major social media channels as well on my website. If you like this kind of content and it is helpful to you, or you have a friend it would be helpful to, please go ahead and share it, as well as you can sign up to be on my email list. And that will help you get all of my best content coming straight to your email. Sometimes you don't see me on Facebook. So make sure you get on my newsletter list that comes out each week so that you can have the best content available. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to leave them in the comments for me. I love getting to interact with all of you as you travel the globe. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Travel safe.